defeated the Black Knight. She then asked Jinwoo, "You said you'd summon your strongest, didn't you? Please summon him now." Hearing that, Jinwoo replied, "You might get hurt," but she insisted. As she spoke, a dark aura emerged behind Jinwoo as he summoned Beru. He asked her, "Are you sure you'll be okay?" Jinwoo thought to himself that while shadow soldiers were generally weaker than their living counterparts, Beru was an exception. He was created solely to kill hunters. If he went all out against Hunter Cha, her chances of winning would be slim. As Beru advanced, Jinwoo instructed, "Defeat her, but make sure she doesn't get hurt." Upon hearing this, Beru unleashed a powerful mana wave, shattering all the lights and windows in the building. Sensing his power, Cha thought, did Jinwoo actually fight against this guy? Beru fully transformed, preparing to fight. But before they could begin, Jinwoo ordered, "Put those claws away. Life won't be easy if you injure her during the test." Frightened by those words, Beru quickly complied and retracted his claws. Seizing the opportunity while he was distracted, Cha launched an attack. But to her shock, Beru was already behind her. "This is the same move as last time," she thought, swinging her sword at him. "Do you think I'm going to fall for the same trick twice?" But before her sword could reach Beru, he grabbed it effortlessly. Letting go of the weapon, he said, "My liege, give me one command to defeat my foe without causing her any harm, and I'll show her the difference between our strength." As Cha continued her attacks, Beru dodged them with ease. "I'm not done yet," she thought, swinging her sword again, but Beru avoided it effortlessly. Seeing this, she realized, he's dodging all my attacks from this distance without even moving from his place. Before she could react further, Beru suddenly got in her face and let out a terrifying scream. The sheer force of it threw her back several feet. Watching this, Jinwoo thought, seems the winner of this match has been decided. He then asked her, "Are you satisfied now?" But Hunter Cha, unwilling to give up, replied, "Not yet, I can still fight." Jinwoo wondered, what's she thinking? I don't think she'd be reckless enough to keep fighting after realizing the difference in strength. Since Beru was different from other shadow soldiers, not only intelligent, but also a killing machine at heart, Jinwoo could still sense his overwhelming thirst to kill. If she's aiming for a weak spot, Jinwoo thought, I just hope she won't make a misstep. Meanwhile, Beru tells Cha, a creature can recognize whether they are the predator or the prey. He charges towards her saying, a prey standing up against their predator cannot be tolerated and attacks, but she dodges just in time. As he prepares to strike again, he notices her gathering mana for an attack. She launches it at him, landing a hit on his shoulder, but his exoskeleton is too hard, and her weapon shatters into pieces. But that was her plan all along. Now's my chance, she says, thinking, I don't have enough mana, so I can only use this once, but it should be enough. Using her skill, Sword of Light, she attacks Beru and manages to pierce through his hard exoskeleton. Jinwoo, alarmed by this, senses for a brief moment that a deeply embedded command had resurfaced in Beru's mind, a command given to him by the queen upon his birth. Annihilate all enemies. Beru mutters, this woman is my enemy, and prepares to attack with the intent to kill. Seeing this, Jinwoo orders him to stop, but Beru doesn't respond. Realizing this might be the end, Cha closes her eyes. An explosion occurs. When she opens them again, she sees that Jinwoo has saved her once again. Beru, snapping back to his senses, jumps back as Jinwoo helps Hunter Cha to her feet. Falling to his knees, Beru asks for Jinwoo's forgiveness. However, Jinwoo is more concerned about Hunter Cha and asks, why were you trying so hard? There's no need for you to go to these lengths to join our guild. This is just a test, an entrance test for a nameless guild. A hunter of your caliber shouldn't risk their life over something like this. He asks her again, why were you going to such lengths? Are you perhaps interested in me? Hearing those words, Hunter Cha is taken aback, while Jinwoo thinks, maybe that's not the reason either. I just can't tell what she's up to. As he contemplates, he hears something. It was Hunter Cha softly saying, I think that might be the case. The scene shifts to America, where Michael Connor and Mrs. Sellner are meeting with David Brennan, the director of the Federal Bureau of Hunters. He asks them about their meeting with Jinwoo and why they were unable to convince him to join the United States. Michael explains that based on Mrs. Sellner's observation, Hunter Jinwoo is one of the kings. The director is surprised by this and asks if they are saying that Hunter Jinwoo is as powerful as a national-level hunter. Mrs. Sellner begins to explain what she saw when she looked into his mind. All awakened hunters draw their power from a place called the other side. And the connection between the two parties is what I can sense, she says. Sometimes the force from the other side is so intense that some hunters appear as streaks of blinding light. I usually refer to them as kings, but in his case I saw no such connection. She pauses before continuing. The moment I looked into his eyes, the darkness inside him stared back at me. He was the darkness itself. After hearing this, the director asks, "Are you saying Jinwoo is an evil person?" Mrs. Sellner shakes her head. "Rather, I am telling you about his source of power. Hunter Jinwoo borrows his strength from somewhere else. He does not use a connection to channel his power like the other awakened. He relies on his own strength, so the limitations of the connection don't apply to him." Michael asks if she is saying that there is no limit to Jinwoo's power and that he can grow even stronger. Mrs. Sellner nods and tells him, "Yes, that is what I'm saying." After hearing all that, David Brennan gets up and starts to leave, thanking Mrs. Sellner for the information. He asks Michael to join him as he heads to the basement. Level 24. While going down in the elevator, David Brennan tells Michael, "If we can't use Mrs. Sellner's abilities to get him, then we must find another way," and asks if he remembers the first ever S-rank gate that opened. Michael replies, "Of course I do. It was the most catastrophic dungeon break to date, which destroyed the entire West Coast." David Brennan explains, "During that incident, America recruited the world's strongest hunters by offering them a huge reward, and out of those hunters, only 5 survived the raid. Each of them was given authority equal to that of a nation, which led to the title of national-level hunters." He continues, "Kamish, the dragon also known as the inextinguishable flame, was a monster that single-handedly killed hundreds of top-rank hunters. But there was a silver lining to that tragedy." Michael asks if he was referring to that as the door opens. David Brennan tells him to see for himself. Michael is surprised to see a runestone that was found in Kamish's corpse. David Brennan tells him it's been 8 years since the Kamish raid, and there has yet to be a mage-class national-level hunter. So this runestone has been waiting in this cold basement for its rightful owner to arrive. However, Kamish will once again bestow a valuable gift upon this great nation. The story scene to Jinwoo, who is standing in the shower, looking in the mirror, unable to believe that a girl told him she is interested in him. He thinks, "I can definitely tell that since my reawakening, I've grown a few inches and gotten in better shape. But am I really that attractive? Could it be because of the buffs I gained from the skill Will to Survive, that any damage to my body is restored? Is that why my skin cleared up too?" He goes to Jinoa's room and asks her, "How would you rate me?" she asks. "In terms of what?" Jinwoo responds, "In terms of my attractiveness." She asks him, "Where the heck is that confidence coming from? In my eyes, you just look like a bum." Hearing that, Jinwoo gets annoyed and says, "Thanks for your biased opinion," and she starts kicking him. He tells her, "Keep that up, and you'll end up breaking your leg. Did you forget who your big brother is? How does a bird brain like you even get into school?" She tells him she is at the top of her class. After that, Jinwoo tells her he was planning on forming a new guild, and she asks if he will be the big boss now. While she tells her friend on the phone about their conversation, Jinwoo asks her what she thinks about the name Solo Play Guild, and she tells him, "Why would you name your guild that? You use your abilities to summon those shadow soldiers, so technically, you're not a solo player." Jinwoo thinks that's a good point and asks her what he should name his guild. She suggests A Jin Guild, explaining that the character A means I, and Jin means to go forward. Hearing that, Jinwoo shows some interest in the name. The scene shifts to Hunter Cha's house, where she is making a fuss in her room, remembering today's incident. She says, "I basically told him that I like him. He probably thinks I'm crazy, but he did save my life, so of course I'd be interested in him." Thinking, it's perfectly okay. Who am I kidding? Everything is totally not okay. As she lies there, she starts to think. Strictly speaking, I was able to survive because of Hunter Min's healing ability. As she continues to think, she suddenly recalls something. She remembers that when she was unconscious, she saw something in a vision, As she remembers, a hand grabbed her while she was drifting away. The person asked her, "Please tell him." And as she looked back, it was Hunter Min who was asking her to tell him that he must be careful. Tell Hunter Jinwoo that he must be careful of the power that lies within him. Remembering that, she springs back up, saying, "I remember now." Fast forward to the next day, we see Jung Yuntai tells Park Jing-soo that yesterday a gate appeared in their territory, but it will be difficult to get a raid permit for it. According to the Hunters Association, the gate's rank is quite high. Park Jing-soo asks if it is an S-rank gate. Jung Yuntae replies no, but they say it's near to being one. Hearing that, Park Jing-soo tells him that they all could end up dying in there if they are not careful. Jung Yuntae explains if it was an S rank, giving up would have been the best option as they don't have the manpower for such a powerful gate. But they are one of the 5 major guilds in the country, so people might start talking if they fail to clean it. Adding, the guys over at the Fame Guild will jump at the opportunity if they pass on this gate. Hearing that, Park Jing-soo gets furious, saying, "Are you saying we should just spoon-feed a gate that spawned right in front of our yard?" Jung Yun-tae, scared, tells him, "I was just letting you know, that's all." As they are discussing what to do, a woman comes from the back and asks them, "Why don't we just form an alliance with another guild?" Then Park Jing-soo asks if there will be another guild that might agree to that, when it's obvious that they are only asking for help because they don't think they can clear the gate by themselves. He was telling her that he remembers Jinwoo. Youngie Rim tells him, "You know who I'm talking about." Park Jing-soo thinks creating an alliance might give them a bad name, but the public might acknowledge them more if they join forces with Hunter Jinwoo and ask what Hunter Jinwoo is up to these days. Young Yu Tai reports that he recently cleared a gate that spawned in the middle of a highway, but besides that, he's been keeping a low profile and asked Park Jing-soo if he wants him to get his contact info. But Park Jing-soo stops him by saying it wouldn't be right to handle such an important matter over the phone and tells them, "Let's go pay him a visit." The story shifts to Jinwoo, who is talking with Jinho about the name of their guild. He suggests the name A Jin. Hearing that, Jinho agrees with him that this is the perfect name, while thinking anything is better than Solo Play Guild. After deciding on the name, Jinwoo tells him, "Now we just need to recruit one last member, and we will officially form a guild." Jinho asks him what happened with Hunter Cha. Jinwoo tells him, "I don't think it'll work out with Hunter Cha. She's not exactly who I've been looking for." Jinho, after hearing that, is shocked, thinking, she is an S-rank hunter with an excellent record of dungeon raids. On top of that, she is beautiful as well. No matter how you look at it, she's pretty much perfect. He asks Jinwoo what kind of person he is looking for anyway. He tells Jinho that someone with a hunter's license is not interested much in their guild activities, but it should be someone he can trust. Hearing that, Jinho tells him, "I think I have a couple of people in mind that can fulfill your requirements." As they are discussing, they hear a knock on the door. Jinwoo goes to answer, thinking, "Don't tell me it's Hunter Cha again." As he looks, he sees Park Young-soo along with Young Yerim and Young Yuntai, who introduces himself as the guild master of the Night Guild. Seeing them at their door, Jinwoo and Jinho wonder why they came to their guild office. After the introductions, they sit down, and Park Young-soo starts to explain the situation to Jinwoo. He shows him a video of the gate that recently appeared in Korea. He tells Jinwoo that this gate is huge in size and was giving out a massive amount of magic energy. Jinwoo asks if it was an S-rank gate. Park Young-soo tells him no, but it is close to being an S-rank, adding, "This is the largest gate to ever appear in Busan." Hearing the location of the gate, Jinwoo started to wonder if he should meet with Miss Jae-hee like the old times and have her treat him to sashimi. Meanwhile, Park Young-soo was telling him the reason for his visit was because the association doesn't want to issue the raid permit to their guild, as their guild lacks an S-rank hunter, and asked Jinwoo to join them in this raid so they can acquire this gate. Jung Yoon-tae, in the back, was thinking if she should ask for Jinwoo's autograph. Park Young-soo proposes the deal to Jinwoo, saying usually when an S-rank hunter participates in a raid, he takes 10% of the share, but he is willing to give him 20% of the profits for this dungeon. Jinwoo, hearing that, tells him to make it 50-50, adding, "I will cooperate if you are willing to ally with my guild and not just with me as an individual," telling them he just happened to establish a guild under the name of Jin Guild. Park Young-soo tells him, in that case, let's do it 40 to 60. Jinwoo tells him he wasn't trying to bargain with the Night Guild, as he was not the one who needed help. Hearing that, Park Young-soo thinks, I thought things would work out just fine because he's still young and looks friendly, but I see now that he is no pushover, and agrees on the condition that Jinwoo will take care of the boss. After the discussion, Park Young-soo tells Jinwoo that the gate appeared a couple of days ago, so they need to start the raid tomorrow at the latest, and asks Jinwoo to come with him. But Jinwoo tells him, no, I will see you guys tomorrow. I have some errands to check on, saying, I won't make you guys wait. While talking, Jinwoo receives a call and wonders who it is. He excuses himself, saying he'll be back after attending this call. He answers the phone, and it is his mother. He asks her if she bought a new phone and if she was calling at the wrong time. Jinwoo tells her it's nothing like that and tells her, let's have dinner together tonight. Fast forward to the next day, we see a huge crowd next to the gate in Busan. These were all hunters from the Knights Guild who were preparing to participate in the raid. Park Young-soo, already in his armor, was looking at his phone thinking, we should have made him come with us yesterday, and wondered if he was going to be late. Looking at the time, he said, we will be leaving in 5 minutes. Meanwhile, Jinwoo was getting ready to head to the location. Looking at the weather, he wondered if Gina brought an umbrella with her, and using his shadow exchange, he teleports to the location. The scene shifts to Gina's school, where some students are walking in the hallway, discussing the art teacher who was making them do all the work that he was supposed to do himself. After arriving in a classroom, they notice it was all dusty, as the place had been closed for a while and no one had cleaned it. In a corner, one of the students notices something. He sees a gate and tells his friends about it. He approaches it, saying, what are you scared of? The gate is secure when it is closed like this, and only the hunters can enter or come out of it. He says it will take about a week for the gate to open. Hearing that, one of the boys tells them that the place had been neglected for the whole semester. As they were talking, they failed to notice that cracks had started to form on the gate seal. All of a sudden, a hand comes out of it, grabbing the head of the boy standing next to the gate. He starts to struggle, trying to free himself. He looks at his friends, asking for help, but it was too late as the creature crushes his skull right in front of his friends. The students see a monsters coming out of the gate. The hunters were greatly excited by the smell of flesh and blood, but these two were just scouts, so they suppressed their instincts and prioritized their mission. One of the creatures senses humans in the building. He tells the second monster, this building is as complex as a castle, and asks him to call for the brothers, as he will start the hunt first, saying, we'll massacre all the humans in this castle and fortify our position. Then we start hunting for real. As he gets out of the room, he sees some students in front of him. Before they could notice the beast, it was already upon them. The scene shifts back to Jinwoo, who had arrived at the location. Looking at the gate, he comments, it's bigger in person. He looks at the team and notices the mining team and the collection team, along with 13 A-rank hunters and 20 B-rank hunters. Looking at all of them, Jinwoo thinks, they have this many A-rank hunters, as expected of the guild with the most A-ranks. As he was thinking, he gets swarmed by the hunters that were about to participate in the raid with him. They start to ask him questions about his abilities and if he was taking the lead in today's raid. Seeing all this, Jinwoo gets confused, and Young Yerim steps in, stopping all the hunters, saying they were making Jinwoo feel awkward. She introduces herself to Jinwoo, saying she is an A-rank healer of the Night Guild's assault team. Jinwoo notices Park Young-soo behind him. Park Young-soo tells Jinwoo that he will explain everything to the team now. He tells them he will be the one to lead the raid. Hearing that, the guild members tell him, shouldn't Jinwoo lead, as he is an S-rank? Hearing that, Park Young-soo tells them, Hunter Jinwoo will be in charge of the rear and make sure that we're safe. Hearing that, they ask if he thinks that they are so weak that they need someone else's protection. Park Young-soo explains to Jinwoo that it might have been a bit rude, but they usually have this kind of atmosphere, and Jinwoo tells him that just means they are that confident. After the talk, they start to make their way into the dungeon. The scene shifts to the Hunters Association Emergency Call Center, where a phone operator receives a call from someone. The person, scared, tells the lady that there were monsters outside, saying a dungeon break occurred in their school. She asks where she was calling from, The girl tells her that she was hiding in the bathroom, scared. She explains everything to her, saying, "I was with my friend," and all of a sudden, monsters appeared and started to kill everyone. Hearing that, the operator tells her that the hunters are heading there right now and asks her to calm down. She asks if she knows what kind of monsters they were. The girl tells her she saw them on TV and describes them as having green skin. Hearing that, the operator is terrified. She tells the girl to run away from there, as those things are orcs, and they can smell their prey from a distance. But it was too late, as an orc found her, and the operator was horrified as she heard the screams of the girl who was asking for help. Meanwhile, in the school, the students were running out of the building as the orcs took out the ones trapped inside. The orcs start to discuss how they lost half of their prey, as the second one tells them it was okay, as there are still many left. They say that they managed to block the escape path, and now will go up another floor and take out all of the remaining humans. Meanwhile, the students had barricaded themselves using tables and chairs and trapped themselves inside a classroom. But it was no use, as one of the orcs destroyed the door. As the students looked at the scene in horror, they saw an orc covered in blood coming straight toward them. Seeing an opportunity, one of the students started to run toward the window, trying to escape while the orc was distracted by the other students. As he got close to the window, he saw two red eyes staring at him. Before he could react, he saw an axe coming straight toward his head. In the blink of an eye, it was over for him, as more orcs surrounded the classroom. One of them sensed a student with magical energy. He told the leader about that, and he told them to kill her first. We see Jaina and Han Song-yi standing at the back, scared as she calls for her brother. Han Song-yi, seeing no way out, tells Jaina, "Even though I'm an E rank, I am an awakened," and prepares to fight while Jaina is trying to stop her. As the orcs approach them, one of them asks if that is the human he was talking about. The second orc tells him, "No, I sense something much more powerful right next to her." It swings its axe toward Jaina, saying, "The smell is coming from that girl. She must die." Both girls close their eyes, but as Jaina opens her eyes, she sees a high orc standing in front of her who managed to stop the attack. Looking at it, she understands it was her brother who had placed these soldiers around her for her protection. With one swing of a punch, the high orc managed to launch the orc into the air, and it went flying through the ceiling, shocking the rest of the monsters in the room as three huge orcs surrounded Jaina. The scene shifts back to Jinwoo and the Knights Guild, who had entered the dungeon. Park Young-soo shouts and tells everyone, "It's an ogre," and they all see a towering giant, a two-headed ogre, standing in front of them. As the creature swings its weapon at the hunters, Park Young-soo, using his ability, creates a shield in front of him. With full force, the monster strikes at the shield, but it was no use as the barrier was strong enough to block the strike. He orders Yoon Tae, who starts to run toward the monster's face. Running on its axe, he manages to blind the beast and tells the rest of the hunters to deal as much damage as they want now. Hearing that, all of the hunters start to charge toward the beast. They begin chopping it to pieces, and using their magic, the mages burn the thing to a crisp. After they manage to take out the creature, Park Young-soo tells the team to regroup for a moment. He tells Jinwoo that things don't look good. "I knew this would not be easy, but I didn't expect us to fight a twin-headed ogre from the start." He asks Jinwoo if he knows the second name for these twin-headed ogres, and Jinwoo tells him they are called gravekeepers. Park Young-soo tells him that's right, which means there would be an army of undead awaiting them. He hears Jung Yoon-tae telling him that he jinxed it and asks if they should attack them. But they notice that the undead are not approaching them. They are just standing there staring at them. The hunters start to discuss that something seems off about them as they back away. Usually they charge on sight. Hearing them talk, Jinwoo thinks, "I had high expectations since this was a high-tier A-rank dungeon," and all of a sudden he senses something. He tells Park Young-soo that he is leaving as an urgent matter has come up. Hearing that, Park Young-soo tries to stop him, saying, "Without you, we might get ourselves into danger." Jinwoo tells him, "In that case, I'll call over someone just as reliable as me. He'll take care of you and your hunters from here on out." Seeing the creature, all of the hunters are shocked as they recognize it as the ant from the Jeju Island raid. Jinwoo tells them, in that case, there is no need for introductions, saying he would take his place in this raid. He orders Beru to protect the humans and do as he pleases with the rest of the monsters. Hearing that, Beru lets out a loud noise as he prepares to fight. Meanwhile, the hunters watch as Beru massacres all the monsters present in the area. After they are done with the monsters, Jinwoo tells the hunters that these monsters here will help them. 20 are more than enough for this dungeon. He starts to leave, but they stop him, asking if he is really going to leave after setting all of the shadows loose. Jinwoo, annoyed, looks at them with anger, saying, "I'll dismiss them before I go if you'd like, but I don't think that would help you out." Seeing him like this, both of them get scared. After that, Jinwoo looks at the cooldown time on the shadow exchange. It still has 1 hour and 42 minutes left, so he starts to run toward the exit. Seeing him go, Park Young-soo is in disbelief that he left. While running, Jinwoo thinks, "I keep getting signals from the shadow soldiers I left with Jaina. I have a bad feeling about this." He sees a bunch of undead blocking the path. Seeing that, he gets furious and says, "Out of my way." Hearing that, all the undead clear a path for him while kneeling down. Seeing this, Jinwoo wonders, "What's going on? Are they kneeling before me because I'm a high-class necromancer with the ability to command the undead?" But he ignores that and jumps over them, calling kaisel and starting to fly out of the gate. Seeing him, everyone gets excited as they recognize the wyvern as Jinwoo's summon. While Jinwoo asks kaisel to take him to his sister as fast as he can and uses his skill to increase the stats of kaisel by 50% so it can fly faster. The episode ends here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it.